All right, this is the beginning of the Muscle Party podcast. Ready? Get ready, guys. You're going to watch it live. 3, 2, 1. Hey, guys. Welcome to the Muscle Party podcast. It's me, Brett, the host of the Muscle Party podcast.
What was the whole before all that?
That was like the stream pre-show.
So this is the video?
This is the video. No, this will live as VOD
Wow.
on YouTube. With me here, living relic of the YouTube golden age, Aleks, aka ImmortalHD.
That's okay.
Somewhere in the rafters, Garrett, you're on mic at least, right?
Yep. I'm here. Running
the switchboards, and then just a bunch of junk around us. Here we are. This is the podcast.
This says Joe Rogan vibes.
Good.
All over it.
Great. He's got a bunch of shit in his set too.
Yeah.
Except he has I think a run of show. And
Joe Rogan has a run of show?
I think he's got some talking points. He does. He starts on
Joe Rogan has talking points? This is all news to me, so I'm very happy that you're clarifying that. Okay.
Aleks, it's been a while since I've seen you, and I thought I'd bring you here today.
Your attitude has completely changed from the last 30 minutes. You're giving me some YouTube bullshit right now.
Let's get even less formal. So I hear you're moving.
What the fuck? Hold on. You said there was a run of show? Can I see the list of topics, dude?
What would you
Fuck, man.
What do you want me to warm you up with?
Okay.
How's your dog?
I don't know. My dog
is your dog?
My dog is. How old is my dog? Dog is 5 years old.
My warm up question.
She's gonna be 6
Wow.
next month. No, the month after July.
Okay.
And we're gonna have a big thing, obviously, for that.
Nice.
I'm already planning for it.
At your new house.
Dude, if you're gonna, I feel like one of I feel like the first superhero in the Marvel series to get on to talk about the new movie, and I'm not sure which questions I'm not supposed to answer, and you're about to you're fucking me up.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Like a Chris Rudd in the background. All right, so yeah, dude. Okay, I'm moving, dude.
You're moving.
We haven't had this conversation in person yet, and it's just so weird that
We've broached it in text messages. If you're listening now, let's say this is on Spotify. Aleks and I are sitting.
Is it on Spotify?
Could be.
Okay.
By the time they listen to it, it could be. This is Aleks and I are sitting in the basement set of the Muscle Party /
Nipples
catch up,
tape though.
so I don't break TOS.
Okay.
My juicy nipples. Yeah, man.
You should be able to have your nipples out if you're doing exercise related stuff.
I agree. And if my dick falls out, so what?
Well, the dick. Okay, I'm not.
Anything's
I'm not on that train. But
Do we turn the AC off again? I'm sweaty. Anyways, I haven't seen you in a while. We've all been in quarantine. I'm curious about how 2020 has been for you since we start from January pre-plague up to now, end of an era, as you talk about moving to me, to my face here. Take us back.
I'm already out of my second can of beer here, so
Do you want another beer?
yeah, bro, if you don't mind.
Dude, I got you. Say less.
Muscle Party confirmed for RTX 2021. What do you think about that? RTX hasn't been canceled yet. It's they canceled the Olympics, but
I think RTX is an essential service.
why?
It's an unpopular opinion, but god fucking damn it, dude.
It is an unpopular.
Do I want my goddamn Ruby statue? Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Do I want to talk to Jeff? Yes. That is essential. And if a bunch of boomers have to during all that, well, so be it, dude. But I will sit there for the Achievement Hunter panel. I will fucking do it.
Coughing blood quietly into a napkin, waiting for the Q&A.
You're the homie.
Hell yeah.
All right, sorry. That bit's... I mean, it was a funny bit, but...
You're right. We got to move beyond it.
We can... okay, so what do you want to know? What do you got for me,
Take
dude?
me back to January.
So what is this? How does this relate to Muscle Party, by the way? I just want to know.
Well, it's on the Muscle Party Twitch channel.
If I was a Muscle Party viewer for the first time, and I come in,
you'd be lost. You'd be like,
Okay.
I didn't start on time. They can't. Their microphones don't work. That's fine.
okay.
We don't make content for new viewers. Just kidding. If you're just tuning in. We'll sort it out later.
All right. Yeah, dude. So just bro time. What the fuck? Yeah. January was coming around. It was dope.
January was dope.
January. Well, yeah, because it was like, because it was the first 30 days of just like, don't have to go into the warehouse. There's no real obligations. We were scheduling plans for the rest of the year, which was just a bunch of cool, California related things like the Burning Man, like our Sequoia road trip. I was planning on doing some ocean fishing stuff. Just cool things in general were coming down the pipe. And then February starts rolling around and just some talks about some shit that didn't really seem like it affected us, but then oh boy did it. So here we are. It is May. It's already May 3rd. I thought it was May 1st, by the way. I was like, wow, is this May? Because I had to pay rent and all that, but
yeah,
it's already May. And 4th. Sorry, it's 4th. It's the 4th.
Tomorrow is Cinco de Mayo, by the way. So get your drinking in today.
Shit.
That's
another cool thing that we do is the Cinco de Mayo crawl.
Yep, that won't be happening, I guess.
So, yeah, it sucks. I'll say, just blows. And the worst part is, like, I was driving today and there was still some traffic.
Yeah.
And I've been like, I haven't been really going out for like the last 2.5 months, but I'm just surprised that it's like, why on a Monday is there so many people like driving around? And I see pictures where people are starting to do stuff. And even on this weekend, on like Saturday, I was taking my dog for a walk and I had my stupid fucking mask on or whatever. And there's like people having like parties on like balconies and shit. Definitely more than groups of like, whatever the fuck they said, 4 or whatever the should be amount. But it's like people are having parties and stuff on their balcony. I'm just like, are we good? Are we done? Are you guys done? Because I didn't get the memo that we're done, but apparently you guys can just fucking party on. But I'm in my fucking, bedroom with the mask, whatever. So.
How much? So, yeah, it's May. So if we count back the two months, how often did you leave your apartment during those months?
I mean, it's just really just to walk my dog.
You just order food in and groceries in?
Just groceries because they got, grocery deliveries. And then my dog, I got a bunch of frozen food like 2 weeks before quarantine hit.
Yeah.
And I was like vibing off of that for a bit. But just like, it started to fuck with me, like the ramen and stuff. Anyway, that brought me back on like a trip. I was just trying not to go out. I was like, I'm just not going to go out. I don't know how fucking bad it is. Like, I don't know if, like, I go out this week, am I going to be sick next week? I don't know. Yeah. So just like, I'm going to stay indoors. I'm not going to fuck with anybody. And it's just like, everyone just kept doing their shit. And on top of it, like, I follow the stupid Mayor of LA account, which I hate, but it's, it's relevant.
Derek said he's Twitter.
I fucking hate his Twitter account, dude. He is just so annoying. He did this thing with Billie Eilish about voting like last year. Which just annoyed the fuck out of me. He's like, I'm here with popular artist Billie Eilish. What is she going to say? And she's like, go out and vote. It's important. It's like, all right, kids? Like, what the fuck is this, dude? The fuck kind of... Anyway.
Yeah, I remember that.
So I found this stupid ass. And he's tweeting about, the infection rate. And it's like, it went up yesterday. It was like up from 5.7%. It's like 6% more got infected yesterday. Nothing's going down.
Yeah.
So I'm like, why is everyone having a good time? Because I'd love to have a good time, believe me. But it seems like this balcony over here is having a good time. Get this guy up here, like walking my dog. There's like 4 people on the balcony. Hi. I'm like, fucking
Roadhog.
Hey, how's it going? It's good with you. It sounds good with me. So.
Yeah, I think people just collectively got bored and decided that it's over, which you
can't do that.
I don't think that's how that works.
You can't fucking do that. That's illegal.
Yeah.
Time out.
Well, I mean, do you think it's time that we start flexing our constitutional rights? You want to go to the beach. You can wear a mask to the beach, sit 6 feet away, but, you go to Huntington Beach, you got a helicopter overhead going... The beach is closed. Sorry for the inconvenience.
Our forefathers just didn't think about, like, I don't know, the Spanish flu when they were writing the Constitution. So they clearly were just like, you can do anything ever. Even if it'll cause everyone around you to die, you can still do it. And then Ben Franklin's like, yeah, I doubled down on that. I fucked with that heavy because I was trying to go out during the fucking plague. And, dude, they were killing my vibe over there in the fucking Renaissance. It's like, this... Clear. Okay, so you can go out, right?
You can go out.
Like,
yeah.
No one's
for here,
you.
For starters.
Yeah,
I mean,
for starters.
This is sort of to me, it feels like a special case.
The thing is, well, how does it feel like a special case?
It feels like a special case only in the sense that it's like...
This is 5 feet, right? It's 6 feet?
Yeah, just about.
Okay.
But I also know that it's not like you've been going to like Splash House or something and being, it's like you've been in your apartment. I go to Target, I wear the fucking... Thankfully here, I found that we had some like from whatever videos, we had actual like N95 masks and stuff like that. So I've got both the big Roadhog one and then like the regular ones. And I live with someone who's got asthma. So I'm like already taking the precautions. So most people who wash up here, I know are sort of, it's like Garrett. Garrett practically lives here anyway, right, Garrett? And it's not like this is a functioning business. It's not like we have a Jimmy John's in the parking lot. It's kind
but the thing is, this is a business, and so it's kind of like one of those things where I don't know. Even what you would classify as an essential business to me is like I raise my eyebrow. I get in the sense that you have the mom and pop shops, like the small little restaurants, right? Like grandma owns, like Philly cheesesteaks and subs or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's like they're not going to make money if people aren't actively buying from them.
Yeah.
But what's the difference between that restaurant and say like a mom and pop shop where they sell like electronic hardware parts, right? Are they not an essential service because they don't serve food, right?
Yeah.
And so I think that's where the line is sort of weird.
Yeah.
But if it's a business and it needs to stay in business by people going in, I feel like that's a risk they have to take for themselves, in a way,
right?
And for their family,
right?
Like
you have to really pick and choose what you think you're capable of, I guess. Like you kind of feel bad, like you want to help the economy right now a little bit by spending money. And so in my head, I'm kind of like, all right, well, if someone wants to make money and they're careful delivering the food and I'm supporting the restaurant and I'm careful, then that little transaction can work. I bought props today from a place in Van Nuys that is not doing business, but I was able to like go there, kind of collect a box without interaction. And it's like, okay, so that should be legal. Like they're shut down, but like if you could sell online and mail something. Okay. So it's like people finding little ways, right? But
the first month to me seemed like reasonably everything should have been shut down.
Right. And I think it was. I think the first month people kind of really dug in and were like...
But because it's already the second month and the third month and there really hasn't been anything done about people having to pay bills, I just don't see how you can mandate and get mad at people for going in for like work-related stuff. So in the same sense where you're like, all right, well, you're doing muscle putty things and this is just something you want to do. But it's also like, I don't know, something you're looking as business, then I don't see why you can't just run a business. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like you should just be allowed to run a business because you're trying to like pay rent, right? Yeah. Unless someone comes in and says, you don't have to pay rent anymore, like for this month, so don't go to work.
Sure.
Like you're just gonna have to work. There's no, you know what I mean?
One, it's not a customer. People don't come here. I'm not exposed to the public by virtue of this. But moreover, like they didn't turn off the rent.
Right.
My landlord was like, yeah, we're all trying our best. I'm like, okay, thanks for the empathy. But like, what, are people going to keep paying for the Couch Hop Patreon but there's never anything? I don't know. So all of that's going on.
Yeah. And
then there's also just, I don't know. It sounds like for you, if you're eating ramen and stuff, it's like the Twitch streamer lifestyle gets like a mega power injection. How's your sleep schedule been?
It's actually all right. Yeah. I go to sleep. I mean, latest I was up was like 2 a.m. Oh. That's because I'm on like my phone looking at TikToks.
Sure.
It's a different conversation we can talk about later. But yeah, I just because I just get up when I get up earlier. I just feel like I can get more done.
Yeah, absolutely.
When I wake up later, I just like, I'm like, oh, half of my day is gone, and I'm just like now trying to make up for it, and it's gross. You know, I'm not. You know what I mean? My dog's like, really, dude? And I'm like, yeah, it's my bad. Like, we're gonna go out at 11 p.m. for a walk today. Like, yeah, our second walk's gonna be at like midnight, which is cool.
Right.
The dog's like, cool, dope.
Yeah.
Love being a dog here.
Yeah, no context for why suddenly it's nighttime.
My cat's like, wow, cool. My guys, let me beep, beep, beep. Get my fucking... It's bad, dude.
That's the microwave.
Yeah, it's the microwave. So
then on top of that, all right, so whatever. For most people, I mean, it's fucked, right? No matter what. But at its core essence, right? If you're on leave from your job, assuming, you know, for a lot of people, it's like, all right, I got to bunker in. I'm going to catch up on Netflix, whatever. For you, then you start having internet issues.
Yeah. Well, because of the quarantine, right?
Yeah.
So it's like just the bandwidth has skyrocketed for everybody. They're all, like you said, watch Netflix.
Yeah. So pockets of LA, and it seems like it's shifted a bit, but like high density pockets. You live in a more...
It's pretty dense, I'd say. Yeah,
pretty dense area of the city. And so you get fucked. Some other people that are in our group chat got fucked. I just moved out to the ass end of the outskirts of the city where it's a little more spread out. And so I've been blessed here. Plus this warehouse. I mean, it's like, I guess it's an industrial strip of whatever. There's people but you know, we're on the east side. It's not Hollywood. It's not Koreatown or something, right? So,
sure.
So then you can't even stream.
No. Yeah.
So when's the last time you streamed? Like last month?
Well, it's already before.
Yeah, sure, right. Okay.
Yeah, at some point last month, I think. It's been a bit, probably like 3 weeks or so.
Okay.
Maybe more. I don't know. I've lost track of time.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, it's felt a lot longer.
Yeah, because I mean, I tried it like it was like 10 p.m. the other day when I was like, because I speed test pretty frequently.
Yeah,
and it's supposed to be like 20 up, which is what I pay for.
Sure.
But it's it was like 3 up at like 10 p.m. the other night. So I'm like, okay,
God,
which I just can't. I can't have like good upload rate. And
Yeah.
I've tuned it down a lot, and it's still like it's just not good. So. Yeah, it's just kind of me, I guess. So I can't stream. I thought it'd be good because I'd be like, oh, well, I'm home all the time. I guess I'll just pop on the stream. But
sure,
yeah,
that's not good. That's Garrett. I think started coming here because the internet is more reliable here than like his home too. So he's like does his streams in the back corner. So
yeah. I think it's just because that area is like there's a monopoly for the internet provider. Like Spectrum kind of owns all the internet. So if you don't like them, you don't really have a choice.
Yeah.
And I had a tech come out because I had bad internet before the virus. I was just having like just times where it would just like go down and be like, oh, okay. And he came in with his stupid fucking little reader and pretty much told me nothing other than like there's an issue with one of the wires. And I was like, oh, good. And he's like, yeah, but it doesn't have anything to do with like what you're experiencing. I'm like, okay. What? And he's like, oh, I'm gonna have a tech come out anyway. So I guess techs came out to fix it, but none of it helped. Then the pandemic hit, and just like I just have garbage for internet, and yeah, it's like
limbo.
I'm gonna get the fuck out of here, dude. I think I'm gonna move on.
That's a big topic to broach.
Which is what you
you
had brought up at the
we
start.
got there appropriately.
Yeah.
Were you in that shift, right? So there's the immediate, I guess, sort of relief. Like we end Couch Hop, we were done before Christmas or whatever, but January hits, right? January hits and like everyone goes back to work, but we don't. At first, it's a relief. You're like, for you especially, you don't have to drive across the city 3 days a week or whatever. What's going through your mind? Did you miss? You were still streaming, so did you feel like you missed any creative output that Couch Up was affording you, or was it mostly a relief? Like, what was your mind state immediately after, like in January?
And like after like New Year's, pretty much.
Yeah.
We stopped, like we had our videos already done before January, though. Technically,
that's true. But I feel like it was like I coasted. Like, we finished our videos before the break. I went home for Christmas. That was just all like imaginary time, right? Like, it was just the end of year or whatever. January hit. That's when it got real for me, because I was like, oh, we don't go in together. I don't see everybody unless like they're summoned to the warehouse for some reason, right? So it's like this new landscape. I feel like I spent January kind of just vibing a little bit. Like, I was like, oh, we deserve a break. This is good. This feels good. But then I could tell by the end of January, because I didn't stream or anything, that like the slippery slope of degeneracy, which is, if I didn't start having a new project, I'd be like, I'm just unemployed. And how do you explain that to anybody? Yeah. Like, oh, what'd you do in January? I didn't do anything. I just played. You know what I mean? I contributed nothing.
People go through that like all the time though. There's like the pockets of like between jobs, you know what I mean?
Right.
And then some people like overdo it where their significant other's like, hello?
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, what's up, babe? Like, off the call you headphones. What's good?
Yeah.
It's like, you haven't had a job for 6 months. I'm just wondering like what your plan is.
Yeah.
Like, I'll get back to you.
Well, I feel like I was wondering what my plan was. I was like, okay, well, muscle party, but I want it to be perfect. And I've got as much time as I need, because no horrible global event is going to stop me from doing exactly how I wanted my terms. So then I feel like I took February and I started thinking about it. And then when I was really ready to like pop the cork and like have access to everything and all of the stuff that we use in Couch App, then it was like brick wall. And I feel like that was when a lot of doubt started creeping into my system. But
doubt about what?
I think it's also something that I thought about a lot. When we started Couch Hop, I already had a job, right? Essentially, I was at Machinima still or whatever. Kind of.
No. Well, were you? You were doing stuff with the creatures before that.
Well, yeah, that's also true. But I did stuff with the creatures while I was at Machinima. And then I was still employed at Machinima, like when we started. And then I quit, I think, to do Couch Up or whatever. But either way, I guess it was like you have something that's already rolling, right? Like we knew that we were going to start it. And when you have that sort of momentum, it's like, it's not all on one person, right? Like Couch Up would have happened even if one of us like really shit the bed on something, like it was a group thing. Whereas like with this, every day I wake up and I'd be like, if I don't do something on this today, it will not happen. It's 100% on whether or not I feel like this is really something I'm going to like force into reality. And then with that, you go, okay, well, that's cool. I want to do this. But then you're like, is this a bad idea? Is this actually cool? Are people actually going to watch? It was already bad business before. You're going to make it worse. You're going to do this thing, the warehouse, and all of that. And then like hitting March, I feel like I got like March was just like depression city, where I was like, oh, we can't order stuff. We have to stay in our homes. I don't see my friends. So the last week felt very good, especially after the first stream, because I feel like I've been talking about this like imaginary thing for like, 2019 even to an extent. And then at least that first stream, it was real. And I could be like, okay, and that's what I was talking about. You know what I mean? And that was a huge relief. But leading up to that, especially the weeks before, me being like, what are you doing? What is this? You're still in this fucking warehouse. It's like trash. There's shit here. I'm hiring people, spending tons of money to like redo this. Had those guys come in. It's been a weird year, dude. So I do get the mentality.
I'm amazed that you even like, this is all even here, to be honest with you. Because like, I was just going to run a bulldozer through here. Like, I legit was just going to get like a 100 junk team to go through here and to cut all of this up and to drag it the fuck out the door and then tell a landlord, like, hasta la vista, baby.
Yeah.
But the fact that you were able to revitalize it and actually keep this going and provide homes to some, like, desecrants.
Like this one?
Talking about desecrant.
I
like that word, desecrant. You're a desecrant,
dude. Come on, man. I work hard.
I'm just shocked. I'm like, wow. Like, I thought this would be gone, dude.
Maybe it. That's the question I'm asking myself now. Is like, it seemed like the thing to do in the moment, right? It's like you've got all this shit. People want that continuation. But honestly, maybe the bulldozer idea could have been fine. Maybe there was a way to do this without 15,000 square feet collectively across this, you know? I don't know. Remains to be seen. But
no,
but I do get
there's some great stuff here, so I'm glad you kept it.
Thank you for when we had that collective moment when the landlord was like, "So are you going to renew or?"
Oh, thank you for me and you both going down with the ship.
Yeah. Well, at least in the moment of us both not being in the headspace to be like, "Hey, yeah, let's move out 3 gigantic sets and a fucking 6,000 pounds of just random junk right now in the middle of the pandemic. Please decide." We were like, "All right, we'll sign and just see what happens." We could still break the lease, but
I think you could now, given like the circumstances. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I don't even know how that would play out. I just feel like there's a lot of people breaking leases right now, like for sure.
Yeah.
But also just like, I don't even know what's the precedence of that. There's a pandemic.
Yeah.
You go to court and like he didn't pay his rent or whatever, and you're like, yeah, because you couldn't, because it's mandated that he doesn't go to work. Yeah. And it's like, how do you argue any of that? I guess I don't know. It's so weird.
The leverage is already so fucked against you for real estate in the city anyway. When I moved to my new place, part of the bargaining was I had to pay. I offered to pay months in advance, and I still moved into a place that had a rat infestation underneath it I didn't know about. I paid months of rent in advance to impress the landlord that then rented me a place that had a rat problem that no one told me about. I picked up the gate clicker for the first time on move-in day because I didn't have it before, and I opened it and the garage was full of rat shit. So I feel like you're going to be like, well, I couldn't pay during the pandemic, and so I didn't. And the landlord would be like, so what you're saying is you don't pay the rent? Okay, cool. I'm going to let Bill from Silicon Valley, who just moved here last week, overpay me. He'll pay me 9 months in advance because he's balling. Like, it's just crazy, dude. So even when I jokingly kind of be like, haha, oh, you're moving, I do understand really every checkbox that would do that. For me, it's all about all of my reservations about you moving are much more about you being able to do the things that you maybe wanted to do before that moment. And I realized the quarantine fucked really all of that for the rest of the year, right? Like if you were going to explore things or try things out, it's like, what are you going to do that in your apartment? But walk everybody through, I guess. Like, was there some switch that flipped in your mind where you were finally just like, whatever?
Yeah, I think 2 months of being in my bedroom.
It was a long, big switch. Okay.
Of just like, what the fuck am I doing every single day? And then like, I should do something. I should continue to stream. And then that being like, no, you can't do that anymore.
Yeah.
So I'm like, just, wow. I get into a whole bunch of hobbies, I guess. I bought fucking Warhammer miniatures that I told you about.
Yeah.
I glued them together.
Yeah.
And was like, this is a lot of fucking pieces for one. But for two, I started to realize that like, if I move, how the fuck am I going to transport these? So I stopped putting them together because I realized how stupid that is. So just have make a bunch of them and then put them in boxes. So when I get to wherever I'm going, they're all broken apart.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd rather shoot myself. And so I bought like a mixing deck just to put some mixes together, you know, like just have some house tracks bumping. Yeah. And I've been like fucking with that. I got that down pretty good. And I'm like, so what am I going to do with this now? Am I going to plan my balcony like it's Italy and all of the residents of my street would be like, very cool next Avicii? No. So I'm like, what the fuck am I doing? Yeah. I wanted to go out and film stuff. I had actually a list of things I wanted to actually do.
Yeah.
And I just realized how impossible it is to just not only just to do it but like feel good doing it.
Yeah.
Like I don't feel good going out, first of all.
Yeah.
But also I don't know how I'd feel going to film something, you know.
Right.
Just like feels, I don't know, weird.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like there's not enough space for me to like go out and play with my GoPro or with my fucking drone and go fly that around. And so like I have to go somewhere specific, and like there's probably going to be people there still, you know, like if it's a trail, if it's like some weird creek or river somewhere I decided to go to.
And you were already like, you did, if you already didn't like going out and sort of inadvertently being the center of attention, now going out and doing it in the middle it's like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Even filming our shit for like some of the pre-recorded stuff. I mean, it's been in and around here, but like, yeah, we don't go to like, we haven't gone to like Griffith Park or something and been like, hi, YouTube as usual, you know?
The thing is though, if you're going to a park, I think it's pretty like, it's a subjective, like, what's that thing in fucking The Division called?
I don't know.
Where it was like, people would go and they know it's PvP.
Oh, yeah. What's that zone called?
Dark zone? Yeah. I think a park should be just...
It's like the wilderness of RuneScape. Okay,
they should be reallocated as dark zones, where if you go there, you're not allowed to complain. Yeah. You know, you're going to a place where you know people are going to be at, right? Walking their dogs, walking their kids, walking their drones. Yeah. You know, like
you're not on some suburban sidewalk.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I try to let the kids have sunlight today.
Yeah.
Can you fuck off? It's
you
like,
saw the thing Kale posted about his park being closed or whatever for the 2 days during the weekend, which I was like, somebody was in a meeting. He's like, we're going to close the parks.
Yeah.
For at least this weekend. Yeah. And they're like, yes, good idea. It was 2 days. But he was like, parks are closed. I was like, yeah, for the 2 days, though.
The various decisions that have been made across the city are so bizarre. You've got the small little baby community park across from Kale's apartment. Close it for the weekend. Then you go to like Venice Beach. They're like, let's fill the skate park with sand so no one can skateboard. It's like, what? And then they just scoop the sand out and they skateboard it. They're like, are you retarded? Like, what is this? So I don't know. I don't get it, but I agree with you.
That's what I'm saying. If you just go to a park and you're like, I can't believe those people are over there enjoying themselves. Like, what are you doing? I'm going for my recreational walk. You know, it's like, what the fuck? Fuck you. Like, you should be able to go to a park and do stuff, I guess.
Yeah.
Because that point, I mean, whatever. At that point, you're all flagged for PvP. That's all I'm trying to say. Is like you might as well just, you know, you're gonna get sick. Unless if you keep distance from wear a mask and just start walking around, I don't think it's a big deal.
I mean, whatever, right? You're the one that's gonna. Well, I don't know.
It's weird.
It's so sticky
because everyone is saying like we should all stay indoors. But I'm trying to say realistically, if someone's going to a park, despite the mandate, like they should be aware that okay, you're now up for other people being around you, is what you're pretty much putting out. You know?
Yes. And hopefully if you're going anyway, you're taking precautions and doing whatever it is you think you need to do to protect yourself and others. It's sticky. It's hard to even talk about it because you've got people on all sides that are just like...
but like, I'm just saying realistically, after 2 months, people are going to go out.
When they are.
And they are. The weird parts is the ones where they like don't need to have like outing events is my point.
Yeah.
Like I think going to like a party and like a festival is different from like going to the park for a walk with your dog, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or going to the park to take pictures or draw, you know what I mean?
Right.
It's like you're going to do something in solitude but like in a place versus like I want to get as many people as I can in one area and just like all just be all over each other. At that point you're like, you know what I mean? Like that's not a thing you need, you know? Yeah. But do humans need to go out and like enjoy fresh air, see scenery? Like I think that's people do need that, you know?
Yeah.
Do they need to be like together in a swamp, in a pool?
In the war mosh pit?
No.
But I do feel for people who like feel like they can't take a walk around their neighborhood. It's like, put the face mask on if you can, you know, and just cross the street if you see somebody maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
We're not advocating for anything, but okay, so you decide you're going to peace out and you can go anywhere. You can go anywhere you want to go. What do you decide?
I don't like how you're phrasing that.
No. Well, I mean, because it's an interesting.
Well, I've already told you that I wanted to go back to Colorado. Right. And so that's what.
And what were in those previous conversations, what were the motivators for you? You liked it when you lived there.
I did like it when I lived there. Mm-hmm. I always said it's a good retirement state. I don't think I'm retiring, but
Yeah, I hope not.
that was my general attitude.
Yeah. My parents are both retired there.
Yeah, my parents are actually pissed because they're like, they're going to go back to New England? What the fuck? You know, I was like, you got family here.
Yeah.
All right.
You got blizzards too.
Yeah.
You got a lot of things.
Blizzards. I always talk about the 2010 nor'easter that shut down power lines to my city for 8 days.
Oh my God.
And the only thing that really got us through it was my dad had sent off my stepmother and like our, female family members to the casino. And my dad and I stayed at our house, which had no power. And he was a construction worker, so he had a generator that he hot wired into the main of our house. And I was watching him do it, and I realized, like, if this was me, I would be fucked. There is no way I'm taking apart a fucking generator and hooking it up into the main of the house. And not only know how like that would function, but also how much power like the rest of the house would utilize. Like, does the TV and the fridge, like the fridge needs to stay on, but does the TV stay on? And he was so content. And every day I thought I was gonna die. This was like for 8 days straight that me and my dad. He's like you could send him up to like fucking the most north part of Maine and he would survive.
That's
so
cool.
Like he brings me along and I'm just like, what? Like, how is any of this done? He doesn't teach me. He just he's like, this can be done. I'm like,
my dad's like that too. I feel like we were collectively robbed by dads who really knew a lot of stuff, but just couldn't. They were like, you're going to fuck it up. So just.
Yeah. I'd be like, Dad, like, how do you do that? He's like, what do you mean? Dad, how did you hook up the. It's easy. You just take off put the ground in the bottom socket and then you take off the AC and you have the positive retention. Well, how do you not know this? I don't know, Dad. They don't teach us how to survive like this in school. Am I supposed to just know this?
Yeah, no, absolutely not.
It's like working on this car. Dad, how did you do that?
Yeah.
You just take the spark plug out and then you... Okay. So I didn't realize this was basic like human knowledge.
Yeah. Do I need to take like the 101 course so I can ask my dad?
First part is my sister has kids now. My stepsister has kids. And he's like teaching them everything. He's like, oh yeah, this is how you take off a tire. This is how you put in like a socket into a house. And my sister's like, you wouldn't believe me. He's such a great father to my kids though. I know I don't know how that makes you feel, but he's great to them. I'm like, that's good. That's good that they're learning stuff. Because I
they're gonna come and fix your car.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to hire them to fix my car, and I'll be like, "How did you do that, Uncle? You take out the spark plug."
We're just consigned to death, dude. Like if it's not about being a YouTuber.
All right, dude, I'll just watch a YouTube tutorial, I guess. So just fuck it.
Oh my God. Well, yeah, I've never been to Maine. And I'd like to go to Maine, but I feel like those storms. But that's. Even Colorado triggers that for me, but you can't win.
The thing with I always thought with Colorado was though like every time there was a storm, like there's definitely Colorados are like this is the big one.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, what? Like I wake up the next day, half of the snow's melted.
Yeah.
I can drive my rear-wheel drive car. I see motorcycles out, but the Coloradians are like, that was a big storm last night. You don't know what a storm is, dude. Like. I will show you a storm. 8 days without power, and your dad has to hook up the fucking generator to the main for you to survive. All right? Don't talk about big storm last night.
Yeah.
We almost had to stay indoors for 7 hours. So that's every time though.
Yeah, it gets weaker.
Yeah,
because here, like I told you,
if you're in the mountains though, that's different though. If you're in the mountains, you're subjecting yourself to like you're a fucking mountain man. What do you mean?
Yeah.
But I just think the general like Denver, most of that, and then you go south, you get Castle Rock or whatever. I don't know what the fuck they see. South of that is like Red Rocks and desert.
Yeah.
So realistically, like the eastern and like the mountains. Part of Colorado is like where you get the snow. But even Colorado Springs, right? You're familiar with
a lot of snow.
Was there a lot of snow there?
Yeah. Well, my mom's. I mean, she'll send me texts like all through April and stuff. They were still getting like, oh, it's like blizzard. But then the next day, Colorado's schizophrenic. So like the next day, it's like 60 degrees.
Right.
It's like it didn't happen. You're like, what? It's just bad for like roads when it like freezes and then melts and freezes and melts or whatever.
They don't use the thing is they don't use salt over there. So they use like mineral rocks or whatever the fuck it is, and so there's like the cars never rust, right? You know?
Yeah.
So it's like there really is no downsides to snow other than like it looks nice. It's like very touristy where you're like, I could take some pictures in the snow, and then you're over it and it's already gone.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, Denver is like always in like a half melted state of like brown dirt snow anyway. So it's just like whatever. But
right. I mean, you've been to Boston plenty of times.
yeah, no. For
you get off the plane and you're like,
fuck.
You're like, oh, dude.
Yeah.
You know?
Hacks at the end of those parties. Remember that part, like the whatever Twitch
You're like the
party it
pilgrim
was?
stepping off the boat. Yeah, that Twitch party.
That blizzard that almost just destroyed everyone in a cocktail dress getting out of
Because when they went there was no snow, and then when they get out, it was like 4 inches of snow everywhere, and they're like walking their heels in snow.
Yeah. Your girlfriend was just like dying.
My girlfriend at the time. My girlfriend at the time, that was fucked because the cops were like, we're gonna block off the entire driveway going down to the main road.
Yeah.
So you actually had to walk through snow because there was no plows.
Yeah.
You had to walk through snow to the main road that was already backed up because of all the Ubers and just general traffic. And you had all these girls that were like wearing the cocktail dresses and just dresses because they came to like a party and it had snowed. And I felt there was like something in my head that was like, oh shit, like, you know what I mean? Because everyone, once the bouncers tossed us all out, they didn't let us get back in because they were like, the club's closed.
Yes.
You're on your own. I was like, there's something that hit my head. And I was like, oh, we're like in the like survival zone. And so like,
That was every building, every business on that stretch. Like hotels were like, no, you can't come in the lobby. Go outside.
Yeah.
So people just in like freezing doorways and stuff. It was wild.
And my girlfriend, I think, was going in like early stages of like hypothermia, where she was just like blue lips, like dying. And I have to like, come on, like we're gonna get to our car. This is the only choice as we get to our lift, and they turn on the heater. We will die out here. And she's like, it's like, if this was Pilgrims, like I would have left her on the road for sure. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just,
winter came.
if this like I understood what the ancestors felt when they had to leave their wives on the road because it was too cold to carry on. That hit me. I said, I get it now. And that was only 15 minutes. So
that's the power of those weather conditions. You make some fast decisions, but
it just clicks in your head when it gets that cold. You have like a fucking a flashback to like
an ancestral memory.
Yeah, to an ancestor like Assassin's Creed. It just ancestral memory comes back, and you're your great grandfather like on the fucking snow trail.
An Assassin's Creed, but you only play shitty decisions made by your ancestors. Just like really bad decisions.
Dude, if there was something that could just show the shitty decisions your ancestors made throughout time, dude, I would pay so much money for that.
Yeah. There's some gold to be mined there. Okay, so you're not worried about the weather. Do you think so? You're moving into like a Colorado retirement state, quote unquote. What are you gonna do? What are you?
I really wanted to like I want to go back to filming stuff again. I've always liked filming stuff. I just want to have more breathing room to do it. And I kind of want to just like go back to doing stuff that I like to do without like outside pressure of like, you're in California, you got to do California stuff, I guess. Like I just want to come up with my own things and just kind of enjoy living where I want to live, I guess. And if it's stuff indoors, because I do want to like just fuck around on the internet, some just showcase some like really weird shit that I've seen over the past few months. Definitely want to do that. But there's also just some stuff I want. Like I really wanted to snowmobile this year, and I thought about that a lot. And I was like, I wanted to go up to North Cal because I know they do stuff up there. But everything California to me just seems so I don't know, it's weird. Like even when I think of like I could snowboard, but like it would be in California. It just doesn't make any sense to me, I guess. I don't know why. So I want to do some snowmobile stuff, like even fishing. I've even went fishing with Garrett, and it's just been weird to go fishing. Besides the LA River, which is already like, that's not That's not a spot anyone should go fishing.
Park.
We went to MacArthur Park.
Legendary.
Went to fucking Balboa Lake a few times.
It's
went to
so different.
Pyramid Lake, Lake Castaic, and just kind of like, I don't know. Everything always feels like it has, California, like around it, no matter where. It's never like just some, I don't know, maybe because I haven't gone far out enough to like, but even when I go to San Diego or San Jose or San Francisco, it's always like, this is still California, and everything's California wrapped around it.
It's just
weird.
a vibe you don't like.
No, because it's never like, even when you go to a park, like even when I go hiking, I'm hiking in whatever, Los Angeles. There's tons of people around. You look down and it's just traffic. You know what I mean? You always see the same fucking shit. It's always like, California is this, where it's just, people are everywhere
you think
all the time.
The whole state is too crowded.
Yes.
That's what you're saying.
Yes.
I feel like you would like NorCal.
You see helicopters all the time. Anywhere you want to go, there's going to be traffic regardless. You know what I mean? It's always around. So if I want to go hiking, there's going to be people. If I want to go to a lake to go fishing, I'm going to have to sit in traffic. If I want to go, God forbid, I want to go snowboarding in California, it's going to take me fucking 4 hours to get there and then like 18 hours to get back, because it's going to be the 405, and the 405 has got construction on it today. It's raining outside and people can't drive in the rain.
You think Colorado doesn't have traffic? Like you drive up to Vail, that hour-long march into the ski resort, backed up traffic?
Maybe during like a certain time of year. I don't remember. The only time there was traffic is on the weekends, and that's going into Denver, because there's probably Pepsi Center people. There's the fucking Rockies game or like the Broncos game.
So you'll have your own schedule and it won't matter. You want to go snowboarding on a Tuesday afternoon when there's no traffic.
Yeah, exactly. You have to go out on a Tuesday afternoon. I don't like to, especially with creative stuff. If you plan stuff, you need to execute them when like you're mentally ready to go there, right?
Sure.
You don't want to be like, I'm ready to do this right now, and it's like you can't, because there's a bunch of things that will dictate how you're gonna go about this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I was filming this video where ironically enough, the whole point was that I wanted to sit in traffic.
Yeah.
And what pissed me off was that when I went to go do it, there wasn't any traffic. And it was supposed to be traffic. So I shot the video, and my point was that this is going to be a lot of traffic because it's the Christmas Eve stretch or whatever the fuck it was.
Yeah.
And there wasn't that much traffic. And I got so fucking pissed because I'm like, how am I going to be like, sure, there's a lot of cars out here when there are no cars out here? My whole point is defeated.
You filmed it during the holiday break.
Yes, during the holiday break. That was the point. And I had done my research, and it showed that this particular stretch of dates was when there was going to be the most cars. Oh. So my point was that if I go out right now, this is how crazy it gets.
Yeah.
And I had my drone out, I had my fucking all these different cameras, and I got to the airport in like 30 minutes. There was no one there. I even did this dumb fuck thing, which I was like, I might fly my drone at the airport just to get some good footage to make up for how shitty this fucking vlog is. I was about to risk it all right there and fly the drone at LAX, like in the actual parking, and just like while there was cars driving around.
Yeah.
My mind was there because I was like, all this other footage is garbage.
Wow. So that's a lost video, essentially.
That was awesome. But I went back like 2 days later and redid most of it.
Okay.
Which turned out better, but then I had to like go my entire route, which was to go like all the way west, then south into 405, then right, and I took the 101 and all that because I want to do the whole circle.
Shitty loop. Yeah.
Right, just to sort of showcase, and then it just kind of like, it's shit. Yeah, sorry, I'm coughing because I actually have allergies.
Yeah, mine are kind of kicking in.
So I had this cough for like 3 weeks now or something like that.
So that's fun in this. You're like, am I?
Well, yeah, because at first I was like, oh, I'm infected.
Yeah.
And then I realized there's just like an itchiness in the back of my throat for 2-3 weeks. And I'm just kind of like sit in bed like at 2 a.m. trying to fall asleep. And I can't without taking allergy medicine. So.
Fuck, bro.
So.
Wow.
So yeah, unless I have corona, it's just taken 4.5 weeks for me to actually, die from it. which would be incredible for my immune system. You know.
Yeah, I fought the good fight.
So yeah.
Wow. Well, do you think there will be, so like obviously, right, you moved here, you have a lot of friends here, right? We have our group chat, we have our little social circle or whatever. Do you think you will have a way to meet new people in Colorado, or are you going to kind of just do your own thing and then, you know?
I think so. I actually have some people from Twitch that were like, I'm moving to Colorado, I think.
Oh,
that was interesting to me. Because I don't really have anyone that I think I know out there.
Yeah.
You're like some of the old cow chop people, I guess. But I doubt they're going to be like, oh yeah, let's talk about cow chop as soon as you get here.
I mean, I'm from Colorado. I know like 3 people in the state other than my parents. So yeah, I mean, it's the same. It would be the same vibe, but sorry, go on.
I have some, females that dated from there that I'm sure will be happy that I'm back. And that can be like,
there you go,
a dark, moment in my timeline.
6 months in, you're like, well, I'll
Like-
see how she's doing.
I'd be like, ha. Was good, Denver bitches. Like, you want to go snowboarding this weekend? Yeah.
All right. Well, some other people are, because there was a period where a bunch of people from Twitch all moved to Austin, right? And then like Denver or something might be a new.
Austin's dope. My issue with Austin, and I've talked about this before, is I just like, first of all, the people there are too fucking slow with just about everything. And if you come out the East Coast and you go to Texas, it's adamantly apparent how slow everybody fucking is.
Yeah.
But also, because it's still building, like I've drove in like the stretches of Texas, like I've driven from San Antonio to Denver before.
Yeah.
And Texas is huge. I was
So big.
You know it's big just from looking at the map. But I was surprised of like me driving from Texas felt like I drove through Kansas, Nebraska, and Utah, and it was just it was just from like the middle point of it to like the north point of it.
Yeah.
I'd never felt like and it was just all deserty and like Ghostville-ish, you know?
It's just shrubs and shit. I did that drive Colorado too. And it's just there's so much.
Yeah. And you get to points where like, oh, it's a 600 people population town. Wow, can't wait to see what I see here. And it's just desert, just flat. And so Austin's like, it's great if you're inside Austin and you're like in your bubble of Austin. But as soon as you get out of Austin, like, one place we're looking at is Pflugerville, Texas. Once you get out of it, you're like, wow, there sure is nothing out here.
Yeah.
And much like even when we went to see the Rooster Teeth offices, I streamed there for one of my streams, and I was walking back to our hotel room, and I came across this construction lot, and I was like looking through it, and it still had its framing all up, and I was looking past it, and I noticed that past the buildings that were all around me, behind them there was nothing, and that really just creeped me the fuck out, because I was like,
it's like a movie lot.
yeah, you're looking at movie
Sets.
lots where it's just like all these nice places. You're like, oh, this is a nice restaurant, this shop next to it, but you're like, what's behind it? Nothing. It's fucking desert.
Yeah.
So they're still building stuff up, which I feel like
Traffic's
is
annoying. The airport's always under
yeah.
construction.
That's the crazy part to me too. Is how does the traffic bad for a place that's still building up its
It's
its
just that
infrastructure.
one stretch in and that one stretch out, and like you gotta go with it. I don't know if everybody knows that. Like we seriously considered moving to Austin during Cow Chop.
Yeah.
To the point that like James made a trip, Lindsay and I made a trip. We looked at places. There's just not a lot of options unless you want to rent a fucking boat garage.
I found it funny that the real estate is dramatically cheap in comparison to like the rest of the country's average, but like the warehouses that we were looking at were on the competitive edge where they were like, if not more expensive than the warehouses in Los Angeles.
Yeah, the commercial spaces were not cheap. Like you can get a cheap place to live, but yeah, it was ridiculous. It was as expensive. And like this is a really expensive warehouse, but like it's a really good deal when you compare it to other things. Like under $1 a square foot is like,
yeah, this warehouse is like cheaper than like any of the warehouses that we looked at out in Texas.
Yeah.
I think that must be because I just said it because of the construction, because that's where people are storing their construction materials.
Yeah.
And because the construction industry is so big out there, it's probably very competitive for them to like build houses, and they can put all their construction crap in the warehouse.
And there's just not a need for like a whole bunch of production companies to come in and be like, can we have central air? They're like, no, this is a big hot warehouse to put a boat in and lock, and don't come back until you're ready for your boat. So it's like, we were going to film with no AC. Like, no, absolutely not. So that didn't happen.
Yeah.
Was there anywhere else we almost moved? I guess that was it. That was a serious consideration. So now Austin for you, Colorado. What's your timeline? Do you know?
It was supposed to be like towards the beginning part of this month, but
damn.
Yeah, but I don't know. I was having some issues trying to lock down some spots out there.
Oh yeah.
Because I think situationally, because of the virus, they're not doing like viewings and stuff. Mm-hmm. But also, some of the places were weird about the fact that I'm like moving from a different state. Huh. It seemed like they were like, oh, it's like, well, like we're locked down right now, but when can you come to, like when do you want to look at it?
It wasn't real. Like you would move there and then contact them.
Yeah.
Would you book a place without having seen it for yourself? Or are you going to fly out there and look?
I'm not going to fly out there.
Well, that's the wrong word.
Yeah.
Drive. A day and
I'm not going to drive out there. Like I'm just relying heavily on like the pictures, and they like a lot of this stuff on like Zillow, whatever, is doing like 3D tours.
Yeah, I saw those too.
But I'm just
show you the rats, by the way. There's no X.
Yeah, they're not going to show me the rats, so I'm already like taking a risk. But they're just like weird about, I don't know.
Wow.
And I thought, well, there's a lot of good stuff out there, but I was trying to get something a little bit better and cheaper, and I'm running into like situational stuff where it's just like, this place might not have a laundry unit. This place might not have like fucking, I don't know, be in the area that I want to be in kind of stuff, So
just by virtue of the fact that like
might not allow cats or whatever.
So like your options aren't as great as they would be like this time last year or something where like, here's everything.
Yeah, maybe that, but just like I just have to kind of wait for like a spot to pop up, I guess. A lot of the Colorado landlords are just more like, I think, uppity to begin with, where they just like prefer like things like what do you call it? Like in Los Angeles, it feels like if they give you a space for like $2,000 or something like that, they'll be like, this is what you're getting, dude.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, I get a lot of people.
Frills.
Right. And in Colorado, they're like, this is a lovely spot owned by an artist who, her grandfather was a craftsman. And you're like, can I book the place? Whoa, do you know about the history of this spot before you like get so aggressive about where they book?
Appreciate it.
Like, I don't give a fuck. I just want to, can I get some, I had this one spot that I already bitched about the other day where I was like, I messaged and I was like, can I get some pictures of it? Because they only had 6 up. They had 6 pictures up, and it was like an 1,800 foot square, whatever. I was like, can I get some pictures to look at? As how I messaged all of them, and they're like, no pictures. But when are you looking to move in? And how many individuals? And what is your income? I'm like, what? You gave me 6 pictures and you were asking me when I want to move in? And I'm asking for pictures. Can I get? There's no pictures, but when do you want to move in? It's like, I don't know. Is that normal for people to I'm just going to move in?
Landlords are deranged. They're deranged people. You see those ads where they just show a picture of the front of the house and they're like, no negotiation. Like, what? What? You didn't even show us inside the house? Landlords are fucked. I guess no matter where you live.
Well, it's also they're like real estate representatives too. They will be like,
oh yeah.
They'll be like, yeah, all looks good. The landlord requests that your dog can't have more than 3 legs. So
yeah.
Other than that, I can sign right there.
Yeah.
Is anyone going to say anything about that?
Same deal. The realtor for Rat Hotel which is fine. It's a beautiful house, other than the fact that the last person did not finish fixing the rat problem, because there's an orange tree in the backyard, and the rats that just live in nature come, and then they eat the oranges and they go under my house. So we had to seal it off, kill them all. This whole fucking, I couldn't have AC or heat for like a month and a half because they had chewed through the ductwork. Whole fucking thing. You would think if you were the realtor for a landlord, you would, oh, does the garage door open? Let me open the garage door. She's like, oh, dead. There's a dead rat in a mousetrap. I discover. I'm like, what kind of degenerate shit is this? They're just like, that's what you get. What? Meanwhile, they're like, hey, if you want a pet, make sure you run it by the land. I'm going to get 9 cats, and you're going to say, okay, and they're going to roam this fucking landscape killing things. Like, it's fine now, but, like, the audacity. The same people who are like, well, rent is delayed 3 months, but make sure you pay me 3 months at once, because that's how it works in the economy. But suddenly, magically, you get paid 3 months rent all at once, and then you just pay your bills, and it's fine. 2020 is fucked up.
My landlord's at my current spot. I think I lucked out because he is okay, but I think he's only okay because I pay rent on time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Which is like,
he stopped sending me a contract. I didn't even get a contract this year.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I guess I'm month to month, but I didn't sign anything. So I pay him, and he hasn't texted me or anything like that. He hasn't been like, hey, you want to renew? I'm just living there. So I'm like,
gentleman's agreement.
I'm like, I think we're past the contract point. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can just do whatever I want at this point.
Yeah.
But I don't know, my spot is like, I don't know. I hear my neighbors a lot.
Yeah.
And I'm hearing them argue a lot. My neighbor has an issue with this female named Danielle.
Oh, you're hearing proper nouns.
Oh no, yeah, I hear proper just about everything. Danielle was being a bitch, and he had told her he loves her, and she had just thrown that out the window, treated her like she was just a pile of trash, I guess, and he doesn't know what she wants him to do about it. She was there 2 nights ago, and they were having it out. And I'm like trying to be very quiet, you know.
Yeah.
To counter this, I've actually, my Alexa plays the rain sound effects playlist.
Oh yeah.
24/7.
Oh yeah.
So when I go in my room, I hear rain.
Yeah.
I don't hear anything else. I hear stomping, which is annoying, but
yeah, that was me in my Echo Park place. I'm like, Google, hey Google, play rain sounds. That just triggered. I'm like, yo, I don't want to hear the neighbor's dog. I don't want to hear upstairs footsteps. Just the. I'm like, what are you dragging across the floor, dude?
That's what I'm wondering too. I hear sounds and I try to make it out. I know the walking. I know the walking downstairs. I know the door's shut. Closet door's open. But there's certain sounds that is like the. Yeah.
Like, what are you?
And it'll be like, it was like last night. It was at 4 a.m. I was like, oh, okay, we're working up at 4 a.m.
Yeah.
Then it will be like at 8 a.m. It'll be like,
yeah, crackhead energy.
Like,
did you sleep?
What the fuck are you doing? Like, I can understand if at one point you wake up and you just get crackhead energy.
Yeah.
It's like multiple times you're waking up and doing shit. Like at 8 a.m. you're going to be exercising. At 4 a.m. you're going to be exercising. At 2 a.m. you're going to be doing stuff.
Yeah.
What the fuck is your sleep schedule?
Yeah.
Just go the fuck to sleep. So I know when I can go to sleep, and you're like, my neighbor sleeps at, wakes up at 11, goes to bed at this time. But my fucking neighbor just 2 a.m., 4 a.m., 8 a.m., 1 p.m. Do I piss you off? Because I go to bed pretty consistently at 1 a.m. Is 1 a.m. a bad time for me to go to bed because you're fucking going crazy at 2 a.m.?
Yeah. You can't adapt if they're inconsistent. I had a lot of that too. Yeah. Run the blender at 6:30, but you were up at 2 shaking the vacuum cleaner cord over and over onto the floor like a whip. What? Why?
It's weird though, because my neighbor's a dude. And he is very cool in the sense that like he's just come over to my place and has like given me weed before. He's like, here you go, dude. Because he's like, I know a guy that works for Ease. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. I guess. And that's what I gave to Kale not too long ago, was just this bag of weed. Oh, like, cool. Thanks, dude. Very nice. And then he'll be like, oh yeah, like, oh, it's like, I love your dog. Oh yeah. I'm like, cool. I close the door. I go out to my kitchen or whatever. I just hear, Danielle, I can't believe you said that to me. I'm just like, oh, okay.
That's the best. Mask on, mask off.
I know the two sides of the mask now, so I'm like, okay, dude. Like, how do I just treat you like, cause you're the cool guy that gives me weed, but also like yells at his girlfriend and like emotionally abuses her, and then also does like karate at 2 a.m. So I'm not sure where we're at with the neighbor line. To be fair, I just rather get my own space.
Step out. I will say, now I don't have neighbors that are close enough to hear, and I was like, beautiful. Nobody above me sleep. But now it's like nature has taken over. I got these birds.
So the rats and the birds as well.
Yeah, it's nature. I got these fat. First of all, it's the fat ass squirrels in my neighborhood that pull the oranges down, take a bite, and drop them on the ground, and then the rats are like, "Oh, free food." I got these birds, and they're all breeding right now. It's like sound effects library. There's a bird that's in front of my house, and it's like your neighbor. Doesn't matter what time of day it is. He goes, chirp, 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 chirp. He mimics a cat. He goes, whoop, whoop, whoop. Dude, it's like one of those keychains, 8 different tones, and it just loops all day and all night. It doesn't matter. Like, what do they sleep? What are they doing? So I got used to that. So the rate sounds.
I think in some biology, learned about like different birds inhabit different parts of the tree. So realistically, if you see a tree, it itself is like a part of the complex.
I'm hearing a sound bed.
Yeah, exactly.
Birds.
They occupy different parts of the tree. And so if in this case it's the bird that's just the asshole, you know, top of the fucking rafters, top of the tree, neighbor that's just in your fucking bed, just like just screaming about whatever the fuck's going on.
In group chat, I was showing you guys, right now we have these tiny little songbirds. They're like this big. They look like baby birds. But it's breeding season, and all the males are going ham on each other for territory. And they will fly up to the window, and they'll peck the window, I think because they see their own reflection. Even if there's another bird, I sent you that video where there's 2 of them perched on a thing, and they're not fighting each other, but they're taking turns attacking the window and they see me. I'm standing there, but whatever little bird reflection, they're like trying to like square up on other little songbirds. I'm like, do I need to put decals on every window? I've had several birds fly into the set. Like, I'm at ground level.
There's like a video of like this groundhog that was like eating the slice of pizza. Did you see that one? He was like looking at a window, like inside the glass. There was like 2 dogs that are like, what the fuck? And he's just eating pizza, like looking at the 2 dogs inside the house. And people started posting the memes of like, you know, malls have returned, or like trees have returned to malls or whatever. It's like, we are the virus kind of stuff. Where it's just like, oh, now nature's watching us because, you know, we're the zoo for them.
The groundhog
cracks me the fuck up.
Yeah. I'm like, how did he get the pizza? They left pizza outside? Groundhog eats pizza?
Sometimes I think of like people who are like, you know, it's like you're killing off nature. What purpose is this bird that looks at itself in the fucking window and it tries to attack itself every fucking morning serve as like, or, you know, a good reason why we need to keep nature around sometimes, you know what I'm saying?
I mean, they're cute. They're cute. I just realized that's living in the city, right? You're out of touch. You're used to your neighbors annoying the shit out of you all day. And then you're like, oh, peace and quiet of nature. And you're like, nature's noisy as fuck too, dude. All day.
There's certain things in nature we should keep, but there's some other ones that are just kind of like, why do we need pigeons? Who is a pigeon advocate?
Yeah.
They literally are they're fucking brain dead to begin with. What do? They'll just sit on a power line all day. And grandma will drop a crumb of bread. 700 of them will pour out.
Oh, yeah.
They're like the rats of the sky, right?
You're going to upset the pigeon advocates because there are people who are like,
a hawk's pretty cool. Hawks are pretty cool. They'll eat a pigeon.
They will.
Eagles too. Eagles. But there's just certain ones I'm like, you know, come on. We don't need all of them around. Toads is another one.
Toads?
Just,
Bro, you're going on toads.
They're so, just.
When's the last time you encountered a toad in your life?
Oh, gosh.
When you're fishing? Just some fishing irritants?
It just. And I was just like, dude, shut the fuck up. All right.
They're definitely the ones.
I mean, even certain fish too. I'll say even the certain fish. There's certain. I don't like fucking catching like smallmouth bass. Nobody likes catching a smallmouth bass. They're very necessary because they eat all the garbage or whatever. You know,
bass like invasive anyway. Like, don't they like fucking show up in a lake and they're like?
There are certain species of fish that are very invasive, and if you catch them, the fucking what do you call it? The
game
rangers, the game wardens want you to kill them.
Yeah.
They'll
Do not release.
Yeah, they do not release back. Just fucking straight up murk them. Yeah, the big mouth bass will eat anything. I mean, there's like certain. Anyways, this is going off on a tangent. But the point is just certain things. Actually, there was a fucking article about the stupid. What is it? The honey bee.
Hornets?
Yeah, the honey bee.
Killer fucking Japanese hornets. They need to die for sure.
Why are they here?
Why? They just
are now, I guess.
like honeybees don't have enough fucking problems. They got fucking xenomorph from Alien chasing them down.
But the thing is, if we agree that like the game wardens, like the OP species need to go up, why do the weak ones need to stay around too? You know what I'm saying?
Oh, you're an advocate for.
If we were gonna kill the OP ones, like the invasive bees or the invasive fish, why can't we kill the fucking dumb ones that are like the pigeon and they just what do? Right?
It's true.
Have you ever had a pigeon? Some of these people in like New York or whatever, they have just pigeons just fucking stand outside their windowsill all day.
Mike Tyson keeps pigeons on his, doesn't he? Doesn't he have like that thing up on the rooftop? Wasn't that his thing? He like raised pigeons. It's very soothing.
You're talking about John Wick with
Yeah, well, yeah. Same difference. I mean, you could get a lot of different birds. You wouldn't have to raise pigeons. They raised them because they were already there.
If you raise a hawk, you're like, people are like, wow, that's badass.
Yeah.
You're raising a fucking thing that will kill all their birds, all of the birds in the sky.
Yeah.
Here's a pigeon, and you're like, why?
Yeah.
Because they're messenger birds.
They were going to be there anyway. Yeah. Like raising a pigeon is like raising a rat. It's like
Send
raising
an email. Why do you need a messenger bird? Hundreds of years past messenger birds.
I don't think Mike Tyson was, I don't think he was sending messages. He was just like, they bring me
That's
peace.
worse.
Yeah, it's well, absolutely.
If you're not sending messages, if you're not mastering the art of, pigeon as messengers, what do you just have pigeons then? You're providing, that's like me. That's like you being like, oh, I raise rats.
Yeah. Like if I didn't kill the rats under my house, I'm like a vegetarian and I'm like, hey man, let's coexist. I'm like, no, they need to die.
Right.
They actually do. They'll make you sick. Pigeons, you can't, well, I'm sure there's something been spread by pigeons.
What are you talking about? The fucking Air
bird
One,
flu?
whatever. Yeah.
Was that pigeons?
Yeah.
I genuinely don't remember.
The bird flu.
I mean, I know it's bird flu. Any bird? Every bird spreads it the same equally?
It was like influenza, right? So I think it was just respiratory, but it came from birds.
Well, there you go. Kill them all, like China. I went to China, no birds.
Air One, is not Air One. It's
Air One.
Yeah, I don't know what we call Air One. It's
whatever.
Too much shit program. Anyways,
you're mods. I'm just screaming at this point. Hey Garrett, I need to like take a leak. How long have we been chit chatting? Anybody know? It's almost 4 a.m.
A little over an hour.
Air One. Yeah, come on. What'd you say, Garrett?
A little over an hour.
I meant to say
hour and a half.
H1, but then the H1's the stupid pig, whatever the fuck it was. So then it was bird flu is the one.
Yeah.
But I forget what. It was called like the AV. I forget what the fuck it was actually called. What was the actual definition of bird flu? The avian flu. There we go.
2020. My brain I own rats. Okay.
Avian flu.
If you own a pet rats are smart. But that's why they were smart enough to get under my house, and they're like, it's a whole thing.
What does that mean that you owned a pet rat though? You put some cheese out and then you put this thing in a damn cage, or like, what is that? Surely it isn't complicated for you to own a rat, right? You don't have to sign a government document to own a rat. You just put some cheese out, whatever crawls in it, the trap shuts, and then you just put this thing on the windowsill, right? And you just feed it like your breakfast cereal or whatever the fuck else you have in your trash. Gave me an accomplishment to own a rat. Come on. That's why I put in the same line as a. That's why I put in the same line as a toad, because a toad, you go on the mud swamp, you put your clans together, and you throw the goddamn thing in a bucket, and now you own a toad. Do you put on your dating profile owner of toad or owner of rat?
Owner of toad.
I just you get pulled over at a fucking traffic light. Officer, just want to let you know I own a rat.
Fuck. Owner of toad. Favorite. I'm changing my Twitter bio. I'm the owner of Toad.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just
You're right. I mean,
that you're a registered rat owner. Like,
it's not wow. There's probably a lot of rat owners.
with a cat and dog, you have to sign documents,
Yeah, that's
right?
true.
You sign documents, you sign ownership. No one's doing this for rats.
You're unregistered if you're a rat owner.
Yeah, you're an unregistered rat owner.
Don't want to see the paper.
You're an unregistered rat owner, which is even worse because no one knows what kind of rat you have. You got the next goddamn black plague inside your fucking bedroom. And that's why I put pigeons in the same category. Because again, pigeons, there's no registration for pigeons.
Yeah.
A pigeon, you just throw a blanket over it. It's stupid. It's not gonna know where it's at, and you just keep it. You keep it anywhere in your house. It's not gonna know the fucking difference because the pigeon's so stupid to fucking begin with.
Pigeons don't know the difference between light and darkness.
I guarantee you a pigeon does not know the difference between light and dark. I will put $500 on a scientific study for whether a pigeon knows the difference between light and darkness. It'll be simple. You put it in a dark room and see how well it traverses. It'll probably fucking walk 3 steps forward and walk into something. Yeah. You put it in daylight, it'll do the same goddamn shit because it's a pigeon. Yeah. It'll walk into something.
Yeah, I see pigeons get run over all the time. I mean, they don't have the wherewithal to move from a fucking moving vehicle.
No.
Oh, fuck.
There's some squirrels too that are like on college campuses that have just adapted to like just college kids fucking with them all day.
Yeah.
Just throwing nuts at them and just sit there eating a nut.
Yeah.
Like, okay, we're cool now. And some other college kid will pick up a squirrel and the squirrel's like, oh, whatever, dude. I'm just going to eat this nut.
I got some of that action near me for sure. They're all just like lazy. They're not scared of people at all. I pull into my driveway and there's a squirrel. He just like mean mugs me. He just looks at me like, what?
That's a squirrel that gets run over.
Yeah, no, for sure.
And when I lived on the East Coast, the running over animals in the road, that's just part of the
that's the culture.
That's just natural. That's just natural. What's the word?
Selection.
Yes. There you go. Sorry.
Yeah.
Natural selection, right there. If a squirrel gets run over, that squirrel was not meant to survive, right? Yeah. And so the squirrels and the generations forwarding it will know a difference between the road or an active, 2-ton, matter is coming at you with headlights. Anyway.
Damn, there you go. Down in Texas, you just eat that roadkill. I had a grandma. She wouldn't eat, I don't think she ate roadkill. Anything that wander in her yard, take care of it. Squirrels. I remember one time I found a turtle in the ditch. I was like, Grandma, it's my pet turtle. Da, 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 da. I was visiting.
Even a pet turtle. Come on.
Yeah. Turtles.
It has no choice. It can't even get away from you.
It's no choice.
What's it going to do? My favorite one was that people throw like a fucking tortoise into water and then they're like, I saved him. And you're like, that thing's dead. You killed it. You killed the tortoise because it can't fucking, you know what I mean?
I'm sure I've told you about that. When I lived in North Hollywood, I went outside one day and my neighbor kids, they're like, hey, yo, check out this turtle. And it was a tortoise in a bucket of water. And it was just like up to this, just in water. And I was like, guys, they're like, yeah. I was like, I'll give you $20 for it. And they sold it to me. And then I brought it to like a tortoise sanctuary in the city. But like, bro, that's a failing of science. Take a land, you just throw them in a bucket of water.
I love it because there's going to be so many people that are like, oh my God, you guys saved the turtle. just fucking eat the thing into a river. It's dead. There's like hundreds of people. So good. So good.
Just sinking like...
That thing's fucking dying. It's like, oh my God, thank God these kids saved that poor turtle. It's fucking dead at the bottom of a river. Yes. Oh yes, turtle savers. And there's like one guy that's like, actually, you guys killed it. And she's like, shut this guy up.
Yeah, why is he bringing this thing?
Being so negative right now.
Oh my God.
But yes.
Wow, bro.
Natural selection.
We covered a lot of territory.
Doesn't happen a lot out here, I'll tell you that much.
It doesn't. It's just perpetuated. For everyone that dies in all those scenarios, there's some guy just taking care of it, being like, it's all right. You're going to beat the odds, little rat, little pigeon, little toad. Locked up and breeding them into perpetuity, dude.
Well, I mean, kind of the basis for the whole Tiger King shit that was happening to begin with,
Yeah, it's true. I still haven't watched that, but
we gotta save the tigers, we gotta save all these fucking bears and whatever else people are bringing with them. The monkeys have always been the most interesting to me.
Yeah.
Because you can teach them to do some shit.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
It's monkeys.
There's a monkey I follow on Instagram that loves to play with slime. It's like a slime channel aficionado.
Yeah.
And he specifically has a little hammer and he smushed the slime and he rolls the slime.
Yeah, I'd watch monkeys do just about anything, honestly, I think. So it's play with slime, I mean, whatever.
Yeah.
Play with video game controllers. Try to eat food. Because they're so primal. You're just like, you just piss off a monkey, just don't give it its ice cream or whatever, and it goes like, ooh, ooh, it just goes crazy. You know? Like, it's like I can relate heavy with this. Yeah.
You see your own wants and desires.
Yeah,
Cause them.
the crazy. My favorite ones are the ones they give you they give them like a phone and they put them like a monkey Instagram page and they start scrolling through it and they're like, oh yeah, this is a good baboon right here. Cracks me the fuck up, dude. It's like, dude, I just want to see what kind of shit give it like.
When they do magic for him at the zoo, you know?
Yeah,
Like,
but they're so calm before they're like, oh yeah, he has it in the left hand, and you put it in the right hand. Obviously,
yes.
wait a minute, there's nothing in the right hand.
How does a monkey recover with the rest of its day when you show it magic?
Yeah, I don't know what
It's got to go back to like what? Just playing with the tire.
it goes back to the shaking the fucking cage for the zoo owner to come out with a pile of banana peels.
Oh my god, bro.
Yeah, because they're by the door. Because with like the dumb animals, like the pigeons,
Yeah.
they don't fucking know what the fuck's going on. You put a pigeon in the microwave and just be like, no, I'm not saying turn it on, but you put a pigeon in the microwave, it'll have no idea. It'll just be like, this is pretty chill.
Yeah, it doesn't. An animal does not. Ever think about that on this line of thought? Like your dog doesn't know what a counter is, or there's just like elevations. Put a bird in a microwave room. Where is it?
Right.
How do animals? They're just like spatial awareness. How does when a dog leaves your house and goes to the vet? And it's in a car. Like all of those concepts have no meaning.
I think it just like knows if it's like at least a dog. If you put it in a car, it'll know that if you go to a park a lot, it's like the car is good because the car will bring me somewhere where I had good emotional energy with. Right. That's why they get excited if they put them in a car.
What do you think is happening? They get into it like.
Well, my cat, I put my cat in a car and she's just like freaks the fuck out. Like I put her on the dash before while I was like driving, and she's just like doesn't understand, and I have to put her in her like crate because she's just like fuck this. I don't want to deal with any of what's going on right now.
She needs sensory deprivation. It's easier to not.
Yeah, I put her in a crate, and like even the whole drive to California, my cat was in the cage and she didn't move. She's like, I am not dealing with any of the like the exterior overload that I'm witnessing.
Yeah.
And my dog's just like, just so whatever, right? But that's my dog. But my dog's also like, like I communicate with my dog. Like if it's hungry, it knows that the food is in a bin, so it'll be like, I'm hungry.
Yeah.
And just touch the bin. So like, okay, you want food.
Sure.
But the other animals like that don't have the cognitive wherewithal, they don't do anything. So like a pigeon is not gonna let you know if it's hungry. It's just gonna.
Can't you train a pigeon to like hit a bell and make food fall out?
But even that, like you have like rats and stuff that you train them to do that, and they just get fatter because they don't like pigeons. I'm pretty sure there's like a bird. I feel like pigeons is a bird that can overeat and die. It'll just keep asking for more food and just keep eating food until it fucking throws up.
That's your problem. It's not that they can't solve puzzles, but they'll do it and get fat like a rat. Will overeat.
Right. They'll just overeat.
Want a dog overeat? If you left your dog food bin open, would your dog
I
eat all
think
the
it'll
food?
keep eating because it'll keep coming back to the food, but I don't think it'll ever overeat to the point of just like it'll being sick.
Interesting.
So my dog doesn't eat all the food that it has.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like sometimes they'll have some food that's left over.
Oh,
you
wow.
know? Even with a cat, they don't eat all the food in their dish. A cat you can leave food out and they'll keep coming back to it, gradually eating.
They're finicky, right?
Right.
Wow. I haven't owned a dog in a long time. I always just remember my dog eating. Put food in there, it's just gone.
Right. Well, you're supposed to moderate how much
You have
you
a very well trained dog,
like.
right? Like More so than the average dog. Is that accurate or is that not accurate?
Yeah, I mean, because I had dogs that were just like untrained and did whatever. I mean, this one is trained in a capacity that knows basic commands and
You got
whatever.
a dog that's smart.
Right.
General.
No, she's definitely smart, but I feel like there's definitely animals that will just like overeat and they just don't know what the fuck they're doing to begin with. Again, I'm gonna go back to the pigeon.
A toad.
Although crows, you can train crows to do certain
Crows
stuff.
are cool. I like crows. I was trying to befriend. You ever hear about like those crows that like will bring you presents? Yes. There's a little girl fed a crow consistently, and they started bringing her like things he would find and to get food. It's like okay.
They like shiny stuff as well.
Right.
So that's their thing. Is like they're really like they really fuck with the shinies.
Yeah.
That's why.
Collection.
Right. So that's why they'll bring you stuff that they feel is valuable, which is just a funny concept to begin with. It's like, what does a crow feel? So they'll just bring you back like random, like even like tinfoil. They'll be like, this is the shit. Like, this is the fucking tinfoil. I can buy this at a grocery store, you fucking dumbass. They'll still bring it to you because they're like, I fuck with this heavy. Yeah. And I feel like we need to trade this that I found in the dumpster for whatever you got. Yeah, a piece of bread. Like, oh, okay, crow. I mean, I'd barter with a crow any day of the week, to be honest. If I had a crow consistently come to me and give me stuff to trade every day of the week, I would barter with a crow.
You see that video where like there's a dead crow and they recognize the face of the person that was around the crow, and then every time they saw that face, they'd all freak out and they like tell other crows like, like they remember shit, dude. I wanna. So look at the chat and then I'm like, oh, what tangent are we on? You're talking about you moving to Colorado, and now we're like, yeah, we got to train some crows, but not pigeons.
Well, originally I was just talking about how with monkeys, because that's what we were discussing.
Yeah.
I feel like they understand to a greater capacity than like the animals that don't have as much like cognitive function. So a monkey understands that it's in a fucking cage and it sucks and its life is annoying, and it has this one guy that comes every day at 3 p.m. to give it some fucking banana peels, and so they'll just sit outside. That's why you see videos where they're just in the zoo and they're sitting by the door and they're like. They start smacking on the door. Well, they don't look at the watch, but I'm just saying they know what time it is. It's like 3 p.m. and they're like, and you start knocking on the fucking door for this guy to hurry up. It's like, give me my food. It's almost 3 p.m. I'm depressed as fuck. I'm a monkey. I don't got shit to do. That's why I feel worse for that, because in that point it's like, dude, this guy knows that you fucking got him locked up right now. It's like he should be out there socializing and chilling,
living.
But just this thing is like, like the killer whales and stuff too.
The worst thing I saw for myself was at the LA Zoo. They had this jaguar, and I was there, and all it was doing was just pacing. It was just whole time I was there, just nonstop pacing the entire enclosure, just over. And I'm like, bro, is this what you do all day, every day, and for how long? Like, that was fucking depressing. I was like,
yeah,
what do you do? I said, jaguar for one.
Yeah.
Go release it somewhere.
A lot of them need like a certain amount of space too for them to like call it a proper like habitat or enclosure, and they definitely don't have that much space. I mean, polar bears can travel miles in a day.
Yeah.
And you go to a zoo and it's just like in a fucking, like 300 square foot pen or some shit, and you're like, very cool, because this thing definitely can't swim across the fucking Arctic to chase after a seal. You put it with a big rubber ball and like a, some dumbass fake tree.
Pictured was the ball. Like,
it'll be good.
Yikes. Well, I gotta take a piss. I think this was a pretty good podcast. We covered a lot of ground. We're going to take an intermission. If you're watching this, thanks for watching the Muscle Party podcast. It may never be as lit as this. It's just two bros.
It really was like the Joe Rogan experience.